Hello, Toby.
Hello.
It's Toby from Wayward Sons.
How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Very good, yeah.
Feeling a bit better than a couple of weeks ago.
Oh God, yeah, a bit of a bad bout of. I got a lung infection on the road, you know.
Jesus.
Oh, it was alright all going on, but but nipped it in the bud, got the antibiotics down me and all that. But it's just perils of the road, you know. It's like it's not my first rodeo, so I've had this before, you know. Nevertheless, it's always very frustrating, you know. And I'm still not completely over it, to be honest.
No.
I mean, the doc said it's going to be about three weeks to a month before it'll clear completely. So I'm just coming to the very tail end of it. But hey, what can you do? Just got to crack on.
No, I think you did the right thing. Just
Yeah. You've got to. I mean, it was really disappointing, sort of cancelling Newcastle and Nottingham, I think it was. But you know, it's that rather than falling over, you know, dropping dead on stage.
Well, we don't want that.
No, not at the moment anyway.
No,
not at the moment anyway.
What's going on?
No, exactly.
And the new record's fantastic.
Thank you. Very pleased with that.
You must be proud of it.
Very
and the development from the first one as well.
Yeah.
Because they are two very different but similar records.
Yeah. Well, that was the idea, was to expand on the concept without removing what it was all about. I mean, I think the thing is, you know, it's the same people playing the same instruments, so it's always going to sound like us, you know. But at the same time, you know, you can go down blind alleys. I mean, I've done it before in the past. You know, you said, we want to change things. I didn't want to change anything. What I wanted to do was, I wanted to be more honest, and I wanted to write I wrote 56 songs for this record.
Wow.
And you know, not all of them were great, you know, but the whole point was, the reason why I wrote that many songs is because I just got very inspired. I had writer's block to start with, which is quite weird. But then once I kind of unlocked that and I started to kind of get a sense of the narrative and what I wanted to talk about, it came very, very quickly. So, you know, I had a period of about 3 weeks where I wrote the majority of the record. Took it into the band and we worked on the stuff, and eventually it started to filter down and I started to realise where it was all going and how we could sort of, the narrative trail could flow, and what I don't do is I don't try too hard. I mean, I let it happen, and where it goes is where it goes. And I trust in my instincts. I've been writing songs all of my life. You know, I've written, I don't know, hundreds of songs now, and so I know what I'm doing, and I know when I've got a good one. And it's always a little moment in my head. It's a sort of an emotional thing that it just clicks, and I know. Okay, that one's on the A pile. You know, these 19 over here are on the C pile.
Right.
But you know what I mean. So, but that's the way it works. It's a filtering system. You have to sort of get through your own natural firewall a little bit, and so that's the way. That's why I write so many. You know.
Yeah, and you know, the thing that got me, like you say, there is a flow. Every time I put it on, I don't just go, I want to listen to that one. Then that's me, and I've always done that.
Well, that was the plan. That was the plan.
Definitely, there is a flow.
Yeah.
And I remember when I reviewed the first one, I went, wow, that's weird. No ballads on an album in 2017. There's not a ballad. And this time there kind of is. Kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it. I mean,
it's not really, but it kind of is.
I know what you mean. I kind of get frustrated. Well, I don't get frustrated with the term, but I don't treat anything. I don't sit down and go, right, I'm going to write a ballad.
No.
What I do is I sit down and I write songs, and however they come out is how they come out. Whether they're slow, whether they're mid-pace, whether they're an up-tempo rocker, whether it's something in between. It's not. I don't set out to do that. It's, you know, if I was in a particular mood, I might write an entire album full of mid-pace, low-key tunes. I don't know. But the trick is to trust in the quality. You know, and the reason why I put Little White Lies, Fade Away, and Us Against the World on that record is because I genuinely feel they were they're three of the best songs I've written in years, and that's the only reason they went on. You know, if I felt that they weren't up to scratch, they wouldn't have gone on. No, so it's not a case of, oh God, we need another ballad. You know, it wasn't that at all. I mean, if we'd have written one, or if I'd written none, it would have been a different record. You know, so it's just what happens. You know. And
would it be fair to say there's quite a bit of anger comes across?
Oh, there's an enormous amount of anger.
I thought, good. I'm glad it wasn't just me.
No, an enormous amount. I'm fucking pissed off. You know, I mean, like an awful lot of us are about the way that the world is rolling out at the moment, and I make no apology for it.
No.
You know, I'm an artist, and I believe that it's a responsibility to talk about the things that are going on around us, and I'm angry about it. You know, I'm 52 years old. I've got 3 kids that are all just, you know, 2 of which have just graduated from university. One's graduated from university. One's about to. I've got a young, you know, my youngest daughter's at sixth form college, and I'm genuinely scared what's going to happen to their generation. I really am, and it's my fear is what's driven this creative sort of force, if you like, on this, with this record, and I am angry, and I'm angry at our generation for not standing up to it, and I'm angry at the lack of common sense, I'm angry at the lack of critical thought, and I'm angry at the way that this country has decided to embrace all the things I thought we'd got rid of. You know, I mean, it's absolutely astounding that we're forgiving people for being total and utter barefaced liars and racists and homophobes. You know, we're somehow glossing over this stuff now. You know, like it's okay, all in this sort of ridiculous idea that, you know, that freedom of speech allows that. Well, freedom of speech doesn't allow people to be rude and arrogant and actually to be completely honest, fucking thick. You know, we've got to get beyond these things, and this is what frustrates me. And so this album is all about that: the search for truth. What does it mean? You know, why you can't, just because you say something enough times, that doesn't make it true.
No. And you know, from all sides of everywhere, there's loads of that, isn't there?
All over it, and it's a terrible indictment of the political system and the leaders we have around the world. And I'm not on one side of the fence or another. I'm just on about them all.
Well, yeah,
you know.
I mean, that's always the thing that gets me, is that it's intelligent anger with the record, which means that I get it, even if there's certain bits of it go, it's not quite. I don't see it exactly the same way that Toby sees it. Because I'm looking at it through my prism. But thank fuck, I don't live in this echo chamber where I'm surrounded by people who think like me. Because certainly social media, which I think is great, but
it's also an albatross around our neck.
Exactly, and the number of people that they only see and hear, because I come at it from, I'm bothered about the music first. The rest of it, I'm old, so I read things and watch things. And the best thing for me, my echo chamber is both sides of everything. So I'm kind of going, well, that's bullshit. You're purporting to think like I do. That's bollocks. You're talking total bollocks.
I think the biggest problem that we have with social media is that it's very, very easy to sit behind a screen typing something, isn't it, and saying something. And people are not, you know, to me, it's the knee-jerk, we're in the knee-jerk, you know, sort of generation, really. And I think really our generation coming to social media, because I find some of the comments by people of my own age absolutely reprehensible. There's no thought process going on at all. It's just reacting to someone else's opinion rather than their own. And this is the problem. You know, I think if people who know me know that I'm a left-leaning, you know, sort of, I have a left-leaning mind in terms of politics, but at the same time I'm also not stupid enough not to recognise the other side of the coin as well. What I want is a conversation. I want some intelligent conversation about what do we do? You know, how do we go forward? Not this kind of like, well, no, I'm on this side of the fence and that's all I'm going to believe in, and there we go. We have to start getting smarter than this, because otherwise we aren't going to survive. You know, reality. You know, and that's what worries me. You know, goodness me,
a music interview that wasn't.
I could do some oxygen now. I could do some oxygen.
But that's kind of, that to me is what doing this is about. And getting, it's the music first with me, but it's things like that.
But the music, because David, it's the music first for me too, but the thing is, this is, you know, the music has always been a great conduit for conversation and for debate. You know, throughout the whole of history. I mean, look at what happened with the punk explosion, with, you know, in the late 70s. You know, it completely, you know, reinvented our business, because people from the, you know, kids from the streets were picking up instruments and talking about things that matter to them on the street. This is what I'm interested in. You know, and it's gone from Dylan, John Lennon. You know, let's just go back, David Bowie. All these people have had social commentators. And that's what I'm trying. That's what I am. And I think
that's what made me love the truth.
Thank you.
Because whatever, it certainly isn't.
No, exactly.
When did the truth become what's in your head? That doesn't necessarily make it.
No, there is the truth, and there is the truth, and there is nothing else. You can't just can't just decide that you've got your own truth.
No.
And I'm talking about the big subjects here.
Stuff. Yeah, no, you're right.
You know, you can lie all you want about all the bullshit. We don't care about that. But when it comes down to sort of things like, you know, climate change and you know, the big questions that are facing us as a species, you can't suddenly decide that you know, 200 years of research, you know, by learned people who have spent all their lives looking at this stuff and examining it on our behalf to try and, by the way, to help us, not to actually, you know, somehow form some sort of cordon where they're going to get, you know, they're going to make money out of it or something. This is people trying to help us, you know. And so you can't suddenly decide that they're wrong and you're right, and no, we're no longer listening to experts. That is the way of insanity.
It is, and there's enough of that. There's there's things to make us feel
absolutely.
It's the best of times.
I'm worried for us all, irrespective of what side of the political fence you sit on. I'm worried for us all, and I think that's what we need. That conversation. We need to be talking about what we can do as a species.
The other thing we need to do is we actually need to be kind to each other.
Exactly. Kindness is everything. Kindness is everything. Kindness and love. Love still is the answer. There's no two ways about it. And I say that I don't give a shit what people think about that. It's nothing hip. It's nothing hippie about it at all. Actually, caring for people and having some empathy and sympathising with people's plights is really, really important. And I used to think that's what the British did really well. But you know what? I'm starting to understand. It's very sad to realise there's a massive faction of people in this country that don't believe that. Sadly.
And it's this thing. With social media, whenever I put anything on, or somebody says something, I go, right. If I have a knee-jerk reaction and go keyboard warrior, okay, I could be smart. I like to think, but who wins? Nobody. Because it's just you butting heads, aren't you? What's the point? Yeah. And would I do it to somebody in a pub? Would I do it to somebody in the co-op? Would I go, you're an idiot, you're wrong? Of course not. No. So I look at it and say, right, well, what would I say to someone I don't know? Oh, that's interesting. Or, you know what, I'll probably say nothing.
Exactly, yeah.
And sometimes I think we all just need to say nothing.
Wind our necks in.
Yeah, a little. Just chill a bit.
It's very true.
It's very true. It's very true. Be angry for us.
I think the problem is that because there are some massive issues going on at the moment, what social media has done is give us all a soapbox. But my whole thing is just because we can doesn't say we should. Exactly. You can't just decide that you know better. We can all have an opinion and we all know what they're like. And I think at the end of the day, what we have to do is we have to put our trust in experts. We have to put our trust in people that are spending time trying to figure these things out for us and not be embattled with them. And that's my worry. And
for those going, where's this interview going? But one of the things that gets me about your lyrics in particular, they always have, particularly on the album. There's a few lines that just go. That was a good line. The clown shoes line. Things like that. And to some people it'll just be a throwaway. Oh, it works. You go, no, actually listen to it. And I just thought, that's great.
Thank you. Well, that was very, and on purpose. I try and be as I'm interested in the poetry of all this. Put aside all the politics, put aside all the search for this stuff. Actually, when it comes down to it, I love the poetry. Yeah. I love the conversation that the lyrics and the lyrics can construct, and it is an art form.
It's the pictures. I know. It's just like, and I love words.
Yeah.
I like talking to people. I like reading things. I've always been the same.
Yeah, me too.
And do you know what, kids? That's called being old in your book, but it really is good.
That's called being human. I mean, we've developed a language so we can all have a conversation, and it depends how you want to use those words, doesn't it? And that's one of the great thing about being a musician and being a writer is that you get the opportunity to explore language, and I love exploring language, and it's something I've always done. I have a real passion for, So that's why I push as hard as I can on myself to come up with the most interesting way of talking about a subject.
But they're right through the album, certain lines you just go, oh, I like that.
Thank you.
I like that.
Well, that's good. It's good to know.
And as I say, it's an album that I can't listen to one track. I put it on and just start to finish.
Oh, fantastic. Well, that was the whole idea. I wanted it to be like watching a movie. I wanted it to be, you have to watch, you get drawn in, you get sucker punched a little bit, you have to get drawn into the idea of it, and then you can't leave. You've got to stay until the very denouement.
And the very denouement, that's a great word, love it, is the hidden track.
Yeah, Totally Screwed.
Which is one of the best ones on there.
Well, I know.
Oh, you arrogant son.
But that was the point, that was the reason.
It's such a great song. And
thank you.
I know I've got friends on other publications, and they went, why is that a hidden track? Yeah. And I went, it doesn't really matter where it is, it's on there.
Well, I mean,
it's a great song.
Joking aside, I mean, I did it. I wanted to do that because I've always loved albums that have hidden tracks. I think there's something quite cool about it. The Beatles did it, all sorts of people did it. But also there is there's a pertinent reason why, because I wanted to finish the album on Us Against the World, which was this kind of poignant love letter to humanity. Really, people say it's all very negative. It actually isn't. It's sort of saying, look, this is us. meaning us as a species of people. What are we doing to ourselves? We have to face ourselves and realise that that we have to have the courage of our convictions. You have to stand by the responsibilities of the decisions we make about how we move forward. But really, it's sort of saying, actually, we're okay. We can get through this. That's the poignant nature of that song. So I didn't want to have a dour ending.
No.
So we had Totally Screwed, and we'd been knocking it around. We'd recorded it about 4 times this year. We couldn't quite get it right for a while, and eventually we kind of got it right. And I sort of said to the guys, well, look, what I love about that is that it'll brighten the album. And the reason why I left it is because I wanted it to settle. I wanted people to listen to Us Against the World and kind of get the poignance of it and sort of like have a thought process about that. But then just as they think it's all over,
here we go again.
This bright track comes in and goes, hang on a minute.
That's probably the one song that if I was going to pick one, it's that one that I would just pick by itself.
Fantastic.
And because I've sat there working at home with my headphones on, getting irritated by normal worky shit. Totally screwed. Again. And it's like, mate, you get really angry listening to stuff like that. Right? Different kind of anger.
It's a pressure valve as well, isn't it?
And it is, and it's a prop. There's a punky element to it. Like old-fashioned roll.
But it's Tom Robinson. That's where it comes from. I mean, I love Tom Robinson, and there's something about the way that guy was able to talk and protest against things at that particular period. That particular period he emerged, with the TRB band, 1977 or whenever it was, with that whole punk explosion and what was going on in the streets and the government at the time and all that and the reaction to that. So, but he was able to say it in a really poetic, very, very succinct, very eloquent manner. And I've always been a big fan of his words. And so it was my love letter to Tom Robinson, really, that song, So.
But it's great. Anyway. You've got a show to do.
I have.
So I'm going to say thank you ever so much once again.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure. I just love it. I was speaking to Toby.
No problem, pal.
It goes up here.
It goes somewhere we don't expect it to go, doesn't it, Dave?
But that's the way it should be.
Absolutely.
And
any time, my friend.
But I loved it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, Toby.
Hello.
It's Toby from Wayward Sons.
How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Very good. Yeah.
Feeling a bit better than a couple of weeks ago.
Oh God, a bit of a bad bout of. I got a lung infection on the road.
Jesus.
Oh, that was a right old going on, but but nipped it in the bud. Got the antibiotics down me and all that. But